I'm talking the state of the economy. I'm talking about investing, stock market. I'm talking about the fool that people call Jim Cramer, and I call a fool. I just said that. Jim Cramer thinks that gold is useless and silver is not worth an investment. Now, I don't have Jim Cramer's clown horns. I don't have his, quarter-ending buzzers or the party favor, all the sound effects, okay? My sound effects will just be my hardcore voice saying, fuck you, Cramer, you're living in the 80s, okay? So fucking shut up. Cycles. The Fed, the Treasury rescues each time. The dollar, the US dollar has lost, it's fiat. So it's literally just confidence and faith. That's it. When you become a douchebag and start weaponizing it like you did with Russia, consequences. People exit. People stop trusting you. When your economy is so crap that you just have to print money like crazy, people are looking at the international reserve currency and saying, you are not fit to manage such an important asset. And they're not. I'm Canadian. So I can be unbiased and say, like the rest of the world, bunch of fucking douchebags. Anyway, let's get back to Jim Cramer, the biggest of them all. That's not true, but he is one. He is playing the same bailout playbook. Okay, but this time when everything crashes and the Treasury goes to print and the international community does this, right? Inflation through the roof. So the stocks that Cramer's mentioning, they go up, right? They go up, but your purchasing power, it certainly goes down. So even though you're making great nominal gains with your Nvidias, you can't buy as much because of inflation. So fuck nominal gains, look at percentage gains. What happens when inflation goes up? What does gold do? What does gold do? Gold does nothing except reflect two things. One, the lack of value in the currency, and two, chaos. It loves financial chaos. It loves Trump. It loves this printing. It loves Bassett sitting there like he has a pickle up his ass and in his pink mansion, knowing what he's talking about because he's so calm, but yet all he knows is that he has a pickle up his butt. So never to trust a man where the only thing they know is what's inserted in their butt. It's just not enough of a knowledge base, man. That's all you know. Anyway, back to Cramer. So he's doing this stock thing, but he's making nominal gains. Gold's going up. Now, if the stock market's going up and gold's going up at the same time, one of them's wrong. And if you think that the dumb one is gold, then the dumb one isn't either. It's your parents for hooking up that night when you were conceived. That was a little harsh. And I take it back. I take it all back. That was not my point about this video. Except if it was Cramer and then Mr. and Mrs. Cramer. God dang it! Why didn't you have a headache? Jesus. Anyway, silver, gold. The price of gold, thousands of dollars. Right then, silver. Platinum, thousands of dollars. Silver, it's been at like $30 forever. Why? Let's look at its uses. Well, it's probably got the most impressive uses out of every precious metal. So why is it there? Well, the banks paper short, they naked short the heck out of it. Now when the price gets to 50 right now, and I'm looking at all the bankers that say, oh yeah, no, there's tons of silver. You guys are so stupid. There's tons of silver all over the place. Like, there's silver here, there's silver there. It's a stupid investment, because it's everywhere. It doesn't do anything. Well, it's gone up 80% this year. What? No, let's not talk about that, because that's FOMO. That's FOMO. Well, isn't FOMO that? No. That's AI. That's the future. Well, maybe, but Nvidia is going to take a decade to grow into their price right now. So, but back to what I'm getting at. Silver. Its uses are very except there's 13 to 15 kilograms of silver in every missile. And Iran showed that Israel's defense sucks against thousands of missiles. So that's a lot of silver that's going to be going into the next attack on Israel. I'm getting off topic here, but I'm not going to say it. I was going to go political, and I didn't. And I like it, because I'm going to say monetary metals. So, but silver is used sparingly everywhere. Like in all the top tech, cutting edge military, from radar, night vision, precision guided, any high tech component where electricity needs to be delivered, smaller and smaller printed circuit boards. It's not going to be copper that is used. There's no substitute for silver. Second best is copper. Copper's great for homes, but you put tiny little lines of copper and try to have electricity stay in their lanes, and it's a fucking drunk driver going the wrong way. So there's no replacing silver. And it's the most reflective of the metals, best heat conductor. It has medical uses, antibacterial, solar panels. Okay, it's used in solar panels. That's going to be probably a theme you might hear. You might hear about solar panels going forward. Solar panels. It's actually where the new technology, cutting edge, these panels take the sun and they turn it into electricity, and the more silver that goes into these cells, the more efficient they are. So that's kind of good for silver. But my point is, it's used so many more places now in small amounts that is really tough to recycle. Even though more is being used, it's being used spread out in such small pieces that it's tough to recycle. And it's not mined. Did I say this? Or did I say this in the video where I slipped and fell because of my shoelace and had to redo the video? But silver is not mined. The easy deposits of silver at near the crust, and they're empty. We've got to them. And now you mine copper and gold and other metals, and some byproduct of what you bring up has some silver content in it. Well, over the years, that silver content is getting less and less concentrated, so it's requiring more ore. Love the word ore. I always think of iron ore, but there's other ores. Anyway, need much more ore to have the same silver, so you can't flick a switch when demand increases like they would have done 8 years ago. So Mr. Cramer, Jimmy Boy, Mr. Too Much Energy, you're old, Jim, by the way. I haven't watched your show since you were spewing shit like 5 years ago, and god damn it, you've aged 25 years. Who's your wife fucking? It's not you, man. You've aged a lot. That's not my point. Back to the monetary metals. Silver. It's not going up because people these days are searching for triple digit gains. That's not it. It's going up because it's trying for the first time, maybe ever, it is having true price discovery. It's been suppressed for so long. It's having true price discovery. It just passed in the $50 per, not just, a bit ago now. It's back, it went to like 55, back about around 52. My point is, it's not at an all-time high, because unless you're Jim Cramer and talking nominal dollars, but nominal dollars don't really mean anything, because I can have a lot of monopoly money, and if it doesn't buy me anything, if it's got no purchasing power, it stinks. So I talk about purchasing power, because I like to use my money to buy things and not just brag about them that it has a lot of zeros on the balance sheet. Jimmy, but you don't brag about that shit, do you? That's not my point. Let's get back to my point. I'm doing well. I'm staying okay. Silver's so useful. The United States government just put it on their critical mineral list. They don't do that with Pope. Right, Jim? If it's worthless, they don't put it on their national security list of critical minerals, precious metals, rare earths. You might have heard of those, Jim. Rare earths. My point is, silver cannot go down. It can't. Supply demand. Tesla's going to need to buy a heck of a lot of them. Battery makers worldwide, they're going to buy silver. Silver is going to be the first metal on the periodic table to go the gonzo. Just like Cramer when this next stock market collapses. So my point is this. There's like no downside to silver. In February, I liquidated everything. Everything I own. All my stocks. I didn't own any bonds because they wouldn't let my financial advisor talk me into that. But everything I had, I liquidated, and I took possession of that money, and I bought physical silver, okay, in the vault. My wife and I have over 350 pounds of silver, and 95% of that is made up of tubes of 25 1-ounce Canadian maples, which are pretty sweet, Jerry. That's pretty sweet. If those numbers are right. Well, those numbers are right, all right. See, this is my deal here, see. Now, that last 10 seconds, that was a Fargo bit, if anybody's seen the movie. If not, you should watch it. It's good. Silver's going up. I'm all in. Like, I went all in February. And it was kind of good timing because apparently people have been sitting on silver for decades. But I did a lot of research. I have no background in education in this yet. I'm a sociologist, and I learned that sociology, what it does is it's really good at tracing and following money flows, large money flows. And may I say that I'm guaranteeing that we are entering into a commodity super cycle. We'll go into the commodity, the energies. If you can, there's tons of energy, gas, oil picks that are just dirt cheap, and people don't love them. And if they look ugly to the market, I find them very attractive. And commodities, whether it be the metals or the rare earths or the gas and the oil, they're looking at a 20-year super cycle run, fueled by the fact that Trump, Mr. Big Boy, thought he could stop China from doing something, and then realizing that, oh God, China has everything we need for us to do everything. Does anyone in that administration say, maybe we should think about this? Is thought put into it? Now, is Trump taking thought out of the administration? Is that woke? Not even actually sure what woke is. I think that it's a good thing. Like, I mean, I think it's a great thing, and I think that bad people have like mocked it and tried to make it like, oh, but those are douchebags, and those are Jim Cramers, right? And you know what we do with Jim Cramers? We don't hope for it, but if they do get diagnosed with something bad, this is our reaction. No. Oh, no. Oh. But inside we're saying, karma. That's 16 minutes, and I sure hope you haven't listened to all of this, because at this point you're going to be like, why is this guy married? And well, you wouldn't have probably thought that, but I am, and now you're questioning it, and I don't know. I like DC. I don't like Marvel. I got a nice house, paid for, comfortable. I think Bill Burr's the funniest man. Bill Burr, he's the funniest, and he's so fucking true. He's so accurate about everything. I have anger problems, and he talks about anger problems. He's talking about, you gotta watch Bill Burr. He's the best. Road rage and oh, you're right, Mr. Smiley Face. I guess I have done that too in the past. I'm not doing obviously justice to the master himself, but I don't even know if I'm going to post this video because it's not much. But if you take something from it, that Jim Cramer's a douche. Silver's the most asymmetric investment. I'm buying silver until, well, at $250. Then it reaches the 1980 top for 1980 equivalent dollars. So at 200, the game begins. And I'll sleep through the first few innings. And so I'll be back. I'll wake up at around $300. But I'll sleepwalk and I'll talk to you guys before that. But Bill Burr, YouTube him, man. Follow him. Dude's awesome.